Good morning. It is a sunny Saturday morning here in northwest Georgia, and it looks like it's going to be a nice day out there. Sun's shining, temps are warming up. Going to be in the mid to upper 60s today. So I hope that you get a chance to get out and enjoy the day. Get out and get some movement in. Go for a hike, go for a walk, a bike ride, just get outside, get some sunshine in your system. All right, I've got my coffee here this morning, and I was not sure if I was going to do a live today or not, but the more I thought about it, the more I decided, yeah, let's go ahead and get another one in today. So grab your coffee and let's hang out for a few minutes. And I want to talk to you for just a few minutes today. If you caught yesterday's live on Brutally Honest Mindful Meditation, I hope that you found it helpful. If you missed it, go back and check. It's up and see what true meditation is, what it's not. We cut out all of the woo-woo, all of the fluff, all of the new age mumbo-jumbo, and we got down to where the rubber meets the road and what a meditation is. But today, we talked about, during yesterday's video, we talked about thoughts coming in your mind and passing through, and everybody thinks, well, I just can't meditate because of I'm always thinking these thoughts. And I'm like, well, yes, and that's good. You're supposed to always be thinking thoughts. If you're not thinking thoughts, then I would be worried. But it's also important to, once you're aware of those thoughts, be able to change those thoughts. And that's what I want to talk about today, being able to actually change those thoughts once you become mindful of them. And when you change your thoughts, you're going to change your life, because there's power in focusing on what you want rather than the things that you don't want, if that makes any sense. Look at it like this. So imagine you were walking into a grocery store and you had a list of everything that you don't want. All right, we've all been to the grocery store. We've all needed to pick up some items, and we all go in with a list. But usually our list is things that we do want, right? But imagine just for a minute going into this grocery store and carrying in a list of everything that's in that store that you don't want, in order to help you find what you do. No junk food, no sugar, no processed snacks, no dairy, no soda. And you wander up and down the aisles, scanning for all of the things that you want to avoid, but you never actually take time to select the things that you need. How successful do you think that shopping trip would be if you went in with a list of everything you did not want? But that's how most people approach life. They obsess over what they don't want. They obsess over things they don't need. They obsess over what they need to quit. They obsess over what habits they should stop doing. I don't want to be anxious anymore. Or I need to stop procrastinating. Or I've got to quit wasting time scrolling on my phone. Or in the health and fitness realm of things, I really shouldn't eat so much junk food. But the problem with that kind of thought and those phrases is that your brain does not process negatives the way that we think it should. Again, as an example, if I say don't think of a blue elephant, what happens? You have to think of a blue elephant in order to erase it from your thought process, to make that thought go away. And the same thing happens when you focus on all of these things that you don't want. Your brain locks on to it, and instead of moving you toward these areas of success that you're looking for, it keeps you stuck in these same loops over and over. So we've got to shift our thinking. We've got to shift it into focusing on the things that we do want, right? So imagine walking into the same grocery store, but this time you have a list of things you actually want to buy. You know, fresh produce, lean protein, good fats, healthy snacks, ingredients for meals that nourish you. And you move through this store with clarity and purpose, and you're selecting all of the things that align with what you need. And you're in control of your choices. And this is how we really should be approaching life. Instead of dwelling on the things that you don't want, shift your focus to the things that you do want more of in your life. Instead of the phrase and the thought, I don't want to be anxious, try, well, I want to feel calm and confident. Instead of, I need to stop procrastinating, give this phrase a go. I take consistent action toward my goals. Instead of thinking thoughts like, I have to quit wasting time on my phone, try using the phrase, I use my time more wisely and with intention. Or instead of, I shouldn't eat so much junk food, try, I am making better choices for my body. I am nourishing myself with food that makes me feel great, gives me energy, clarity, and focus. And this, although it seems very simple, this subtle shift helps to reprogram your unconscious mind. And it does it in a way that actually leads to real and lasting change. So why does it work? Why does this simple little change in thinking and focus work? Well, your brain is constantly filtering and processing information. I mean, millions of bits of information are going through your unconscious mind every day. It's processing. Your conscious mind can only process about 7 bits of information plus or minus 2 at any given time, but your unconscious mind, millions of bits per second. It's controlling heart rate, breath rate, blink rate. It's controlling your blood pressure. It's keeping you upright in where you're sitting now. It's controlling all of that without you having to do anything consciously. And there is just entirely too much stuff going on around you in the world at any given moment for you to consciously be able to register everything. So your mind relies on something that we call the reticular activating system, or RAS for short. That is a network that's in your brain that filters out all of the unnecessary information, and it helps you focus on what it believes is important to you. A good example of that is like if you've ever bought a new car and you think, well, I'm getting a unique vehicle. Nobody else has one like this. And then all of a sudden, after you buy that car, you start seeing that car everywhere. Same make, same model, all over the place, same color. That's your RAS, your reticular activating system. That's your brain working, and it's tagging that car is important. And so it filters your awareness accordingly. And the same thing happens with your thought process. And the same thing happens with your beliefs. If you tell yourself, I'm always procrastinating, your brain's going to find more evidence to support that belief. If you constantly focus on the thought, well, I need to just quit stressing over everything, your mind is going to keep you scanning for reasons to be stressed. But if you shift your focus and change those thoughts to, well, I'm somebody who actually takes action and follows through, your brain's going to start looking for those opportunities to reinforce that new thought. And this is not just some feel-good, pie-in-the-sky, help self-talk. This is neuroscience. This is how your brain works. Whatever you focus on expands. What happens when you begin to focus on what you want? When you stop dwelling on what you want to get rid of and you start directing your attention toward those things that you want to actually create, a few things happen. Your mind begins working towards solutions. It's looking for solutions. Instead of reinforcing the problems, your unconscious mind starts scanning for ways to make your new focus a reality, because your unconscious mind can find solutions, can make connections that your conscious mind will never be able to make. And then you actually change that inner dialogue. Your thoughts shape your emotions, and your emotions drive your actions. And when you change this script in your mind, it shifts your entire energy and motivation. And you will see progress faster. If you start focusing on positives instead of on the negative avoidance, you create this momentum that just keeps moving you forward, keeps moving you ahead instead of staying stuck. And then your whole identity shifts. Instead of defining yourself by what you want to escape from, you start becoming the person that naturally aligns with this life that you really want to live. So how do you apply this to your life? How does this work for you in your life? Well, you need to start with a pen and a piece of paper is what I recommend for everybody, and create a more of list. So just like making this grocery list that we talked about at the beginning of the video, of what you actually want to buy, you take a moment and you write down more of what you want in life. Instead of, I don't want to be stressed all the time, write down, I want more peace and balance and clarity, or something like that, whatever resonates with you. Instead of writing down, I need to stop wasting time, change the phrase up to something like, I want more productivity, I want more focus, and I want more meaningful action. And get specific. What do you actually want? Write it down, and then start focusing on those things each day. Then you want to train your brain to see the positives, because we find what we're looking for. If you're looking for reasons to be mad, I promise you, they're easy to find. If you're looking for reasons to be happy, I promise you, if you really look, they're easy to find too. Every morning when you wake up, you need to set your focus, set your intention by asking yourself, what do I want to see more of today? And I like to have some of my clients play a little game so that they when they get up in the morning, they set an intention to see how many quarters they can find during the day. And you'll be amazed at how many quarters show up when you're actually going through the day looking for quarters out on the ground, out on, anywhere out in town. That quarter is going to show up at different places and multiple times throughout the day when you actually start looking for it. So set an intention. Ask yourself, what do I want to see more of today? More energy, more patience, more progress toward your goals, more meaningful interactions with others. What is it? And if you start your day with these questions and this focus, your unconscious mind is going to start looking. It's going to start working. You set it in motion, and it's going to look for ways to make all of this happen. So speak positives, not negatives. Like we said earlier, your brain can't process that negative command, that don't command. Don't think of a blue elephant. Well, Too late. You've already thought of one, right? Your words have power. The words that you use for yourself and the words that you use when talking to others has power. And the way that you talk to yourself shapes your reality. You know, instead of the phrase, I've got to stop being lazy, I'm taking actions every day toward my goal. Instead of, I need to quit spending all my money on this junk, change your phrase up. I'm making smart financial decisions that align with my goals and values. And these small changes in the way you think and the words you use make a huge difference in the way your mind processes reality. And then begin actually visualizing your success, not the failure. Instead of running worst case scenarios all the time through your mind, visualize what you actually want. Before an important event, picture yourself speaking confidently, taking action effortlessly, feeling proud of yourself after it's over. And your unconscious mind's going to start aligning with your actions that will help you realize that vision. And then you've got to stop identifying with the past. Way too many people get stuck in the loop of defining themselves by what they've struggled with. Well, I've always been anxious, or I've never been good at saving money, or I just don't have the discipline to work out every day. And those are all excuses and stories that you've created that you've been telling yourself. And every time you tell yourself that story, it reinforces the pattern that you're wanting to break. So instead of telling yourself these negative loops, let's begin to rewrite your narrative. I'm learning to handle stress with ease and effortlessness. Or maybe I'm building strong financial habits every day. Or what if you change your thought process and you say, well, I'm becoming the kind of person that enjoys exercise. I look forward to exercise. I long to get out and move and get fit and healthy. Your past does not define you unless you keep letting it. So, in this video, I hope you've seen the power of changing your words. And when you start to change your words, you will change your life. If you've been feeling stuck, if you've been caught in this cycle of knowing all the things that you don't want but never actually making any real progress, this shift is what you've been missing. So stop focusing on what you're trying to avoid. When you continue focusing on the things you're trying to avoid, you go in that direction. You start focusing on what you want. And when you do this, I promise you, your brain will begin to work in your favor rather than working against you. Your thoughts shape your reality. Your words reinforce your thoughts. Your actions follow your focus. So choose them wisely. Thank y'all for joining me today on this live. I hope you found it helpful. If you have, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment. Let me know what are some thoughts that you've had that you realize have been a negative loop, and let me know what you're going to change them up to in the comments below. And if you can't figure out what you need to change it up to, let me know and I'll help you figure it out. I'd love to hear from you. All right, we'll see you in the next video. Hope you all have a great day.